it's Kathleen from Bailey Academy, mom of 5, Canadian mom of 5, homeschooling 3 of them ages 8, 11, and 15 at the moment. And today's video, I want to share a book haul of a different sort. This is not books I bought for the most part. The first 2 are books I got for review from the publisher or author, so disclosure there. But I do not include sharing them in YouTube as part of our arrangement. This is only if I enjoy them. And then after that, I have a whole bunch of children's books, mostly fiction, some nonfiction, that I got for free from little free libraries or from other people that are giving away free books in my city, or a couple I paid like $5 for total. And so I think I spent, about $5 total on all these books. So first, I want to show you the books that I got for review. So this is Stressy Jesse, a book about organizing the mind by Carmel Shami. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. So I got this one for review. Actually, I'm the one that requested it because I saw an ad for it and I thought that is perfect. So this is about a little boy who has lots of things swirling around his mind that are stressing him out, and his mom teaches him how to handle it. And I have kids with anxiety, so I thought that was perfect. So it starts off with, on Monday morning, I woke up to my mom's gentle touch. Wake up, Jesse. It's time to get ready for school. But he has things swirling in his mind. It's like on the front cover. And I love that they gave it a name, balagan, which is the Hebrew word for clutter. So he's got balagan swirling around in his mind. And his mom talks to him, and they help him sort things into fears, to things to do, problems, dreams, and new ideas. Sorry, trying to read upside down and backwards. And sort them in his mind. And once he writes them down, or draws pictures, then he's able to close his eyes and try to imagine something, I'm not going to ruin the book, that helps him sort these out and do something with them. So I think this is a great book for, I would say, ages 4 and up, if they're having trouble with stress, or if you want to just kind of preemptively how to deal with things if things are stressing you out. But I mean, I read it to my 8 and my 11-year-old, and they, so it doesn't have to be a young kid. I think it's a great idea, and even some adults could benefit from this. So that's Stressy Jesse. The other book I got for review is A Garden for Grace by Ellen Mainville. And we are going to use this book to try out Poetry Tea Time in September. So it's a poem book, obviously, and it's all related to gardens and flowers. And the illustrations are beautiful. Like, here's the first poem that's called A Garden for Grace. Look at the illustrations. Isn't that beautiful? Here's another one. I love that they're not too long, and that we can enjoy the pictures as well as reading the poem. Aw, here's some cute kitties. There's the poem. This book is gorgeous. Doesn't say a name for illustration, so I assume it's the same as the author. But I'm not a big poetry fan, personally, but even I want to read the poems in this book. It's that beautiful. Look at that. Oh, it's by A.B. Carlson Publishing. So, great idea for those of you that do Poetry Tea Time. If anybody doesn't know what Poetry Tea Time is and you're new to homeschool videos, or you've never seen somebody talk about that, it's basically once a week, once a month, whatever works for you. You put out tea, maybe like biscuits if you want, and you read poetry with your kids and enjoy Poetry Tea Time. So that's what we're going to use. Well, one of the books we're going to use. Okay, everything else I'll go through a little faster so that it doesn't take an hour-long video. Plus, most of you, if you read a lot, especially to your kids, may know a lot of these anyway. Okay, so I have Beverly Cleary, Runaway Ralph. I already own Ralph S. Mouse, and I believe I need to get the Mouse and the Motorcycle to complete the series. So I grabbed that. This is called The Healing Spell. I had never heard of it, but it's scholastic. Sounds good to me. Kimberly Griffiths Little, It's hard to read because of the sticker on the back, but 11-year-old Livy is keeping a secret and it's crushing her. She knows her mother's in a coma, I think it says, but she can't tell anyone something to wake her mama before... I can't read the rest of it. It just says, added to the list of Livy's problems are being stuck in the middle of 3 sisters, trying to hide a forbidden pet alligator, and possibly disappointing her daddy, whom she loves more than anyone else. Livy feels like an outsider and prefers the solitude of the wild bayou to her ever-crowded home. But she can't run away from her troubles, and as she struggles to find her place within her family, Livy learns a lot about the powers of faith and redemption. Is her heart big enough to heal her mama and bring her family back home? So it mentions faith, so I'm not sure if they mean normal, like faith as in religion or not. So if I can't guarantee this is a secular book, since I haven't read it yet. Could just be like, the other kind of faith. But all right, we read one Magic Tree House book in February. And although my kids are a bit old for them, I saw these and they were free, so why not? I got Afternoon on the Amazon, and Eve of the Emperor Penguin, which I plan on in January to do penguins and cold Arctic stuff if possible. Did I say June? I meant January if I didn't say that. So, doesn't hurt. So, or I might just let my 8-year-old read these as self-readers. So there's books we're going to do together as read-alouds, and then there's books that will be hers for reading every day as for work. So Animal Arc, Hound at the Hospital. And I found Dog at the Door and Puppies in the Pantry. So these will be books she can read on her own for reading time. They're cute. I haven't personally read them, but they're all about, she likes to be, I thought about being a vet, so it's perfect books for her for that. I shared in a previous, no, that was the different books, never mind. I got Judy Blume, Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, and Fudgemania. I know there's more in this series, and I'm not sure where these are, so I'm going to figure out if I have to read other books first. But these are a good bet for reading for somebody. A book I was reading as a read-aloud that we didn't end up finishing because my son did not like it. Anyways, it mentioned the book From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler, which I read when I was a kid. And I was so happy to find a copy of it. A very nice copy of it, I might add. So this is a very good, very well-known book. Most of you probably know that. This one's called A Dog Called Kitty. Never heard of it personally, but looked cute. And can't go wrong with a free book, right? The puppy was small and fuzzy with a friendly wagging tail, and Ricky was afraid of him. When the pup shows up at the farm, small and fuzzy with a flopping wet tongue and a bushy tail that's always wagging, no one knows where he's from. Motherless and hungry, he needs to be fed or he'll starve to death. Most boys would welcome such a dog into their lives, feed it and train it and raise it to be a good farm pet. But Ricky's different. Ever since he was attacked as a baby by a mad dog, he's been afraid of him. An unforgettable adventure story about the trust that grows up between a boy and a mongrel. Sounds cute. Another dog book, The Dog Who Wouldn't Be by Farley Mowat. This is a really old book. Wow, old to me. It's from, it's old. 1957. My apologies if that's when you were born or before that, but to me that's old. And, but, old books are absolutely a treasure to read, so this is another, and I also like that it takes place in Canada, because I'm Canadian, so I like that. This one here, I wasn't sure if I wanted it, but I was like, again, this one was one of the ones I paid for. It was like 50 cents. Isabel Taking Wing, Girls of Many Lands, England. So I guess this is from the American Girl, people that make those, those dolls. And it's fiction, takes place in London, 1592. So I thought it would be good for if we decided to, we are going to learn about the different parts of the world. But if we decide to do like history or, I don't know, might just make it a read at some point. So, by Annie Dalton. This one here is called I Am a Star, Child of the Holocaust, by Ing Auerbacher. Just guessing there. So this is it's one girl's true story of survival and hope. So it's an actual, and it's got like pictures of real people and everything, so it's a real true story. And I figured we would learn about the Holocaust this year, so that'd be a good book to go with. Shiloh. I don't remember if I've read it, but I've heard things about it. I believe it has a sad spot in it, so I might wait till my kids are a little older because I have very sensitive children, especially the 8-year-old. She can't read anything scary or anything about bugs or anything where anything dies. So we can't even read Charlotte's Web with her. Another dog book. This one's called Leaving the Log House by Ainsley Manson. Again, never heard of it, but it was free. Far from home, Teresa stays with relatives in the big city where she spends her days at the hospital preparing to walk on her first prosthetic leg. Her teenage brother Tom stays with her for the first weekend. To her surprise, he joins her in playing elaborate games with 2 old dolls named Tape and Curly. Tom leaves to work on a nearby farm, and Teresa is bereft, even more so when he doesn't call or answer her letters. When she finally reaches out to him, she ends up pushing him farther away. Will Teresa find a way to comfort her brother and to master her new leg so she can go home in time for the holidays? So I figured it'd be good if we were learning about people with needs different than ours, or just it's a fun read. Found this one. I paid a couple cents for this one. This is the worst crossed out best school year ever. And it seemed somehow familiar, and it wasn't until I brought it home and read the back that this is by the author of the best Christmas pageant ever, which I also own and plan to read to them this Christmas. So after, this takes place after, so I will be reading this one after that. So if you don't know that story, that it's a great story about the worst kids who, like this even says here, the Herdmans are the most famous kids at Woodrow Wilson School. In fact, they are the most famous kids in the whole town, and they are the worst kids in the history of the world. They are dirty, rotten, lazy, and ornery. They tell lies, smoke cigars, and set fire to things. They stay away from school wherever they want to and cause all kinds of chaos when they are there. Every September, the students and teachers gear up for another year of dealing with the Herdmans. But no matter what precautions are taken, they manage to cause mayhem all year round. Their wild behavior always leads to disaster for someone, but never one of the Herdman clan. They always escape getting the blame. Well, this school year will be the same. So this book is not for everyone. If you don't read books where the kids misbehave to your children or something like that, this is not for you. But I think my kids can take a hint, a joke, find it funny and not try to be them. At least I hope so. So this pile's getting a little tall here. This one's called The Moffatts. I've seen it mentioned on a few YouTube channels. Can't remember specifically which one. Eleanor Estes, by the author of Ginger Pie and Pinkie Pie, whom I've also heard of. So, I guess another crazy family, I guess. It says, meet the Moffatts. There is Sylvie, the oldest and cleverest, and most days at least the responsible one. Joey, who though only 12 is the man of the house, sometimes. Janie, who has a terrific upside-down way of looking at the world. And Rufus, who may be the littlest but always gets in the biggest trouble. Even the most ordinary Moffat day is packed with extraordinary fun. Only a Moffat could get locked in a bread box all afternoon, or dance with a dog in front of the whole town, or hitch a ride on a boxcar during kindergarten recess. And only a Moffat could turn mistakes and mischief into hilarious one-of-a-kind adventure. So, it's our kind of book. I think I'll start a new pal. Alright, this one you may be familiar with, The Borrowers. A little family that lives underneath the kitchen floor. This was around when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure I read it, so you may be familiar with it. Definitely. I'm not going to read the back of every book. This one is a Newbery Medal Award winner. The 21 Balloons. I was just looking at the list of their award winners to see how many we owned or could read. So when I saw this for free, I was like, yep. This one's probably less known, so I'll read the back. 3 weeks after he left San Francisco to cross the Pacific by balloon, Professor William Waterman Sherman was picked up in the Atlantic clinging to the wreckage of a platform flown by 21 balloons. During those weeks, his only stop was on Krakatoa, an island full of fantastic balloon inventions and fabulous wealth, destroyed by the most violent volcanic eruption of all time. Professor Sherman's tale of life on Krakatoa is based on scientific fact and absolute nonsense. Whether his tale is fact or fiction, the author, a good friend of the professor, leaves up to the reader, but he maintains that every detail is true, no matter how fantastic it may seem. Other one you probably heard of, Pippi Longstocking. I also read this as a child. Also found it funny. I think you can see a theme on some of these books. Not going to read this one, but this one is another old one. It was copyrighted in 1950 and renewed in 1978. So, goodie, oldie but a goodie. I picked up these 3 books. They're since the series Barclay's School for Dogs. Again, got lots of dog books. So this is what they look like. They're pretty thin. So these are me readers for my child. Sticks and Stones and Doggy Bones. Ghost Dog. I hope that doesn't scare her. And Snow Day. some more for you. So I shared in a previous video that I got Ramona Quimby, age 8. So I was happy to find Ramona the Pest and Ramona and her father. Gotta figure out what the rest, well, it says here at the back, read all of Ramona's adventures, so I gotta try and find the other ones I'm still missing. It looks like there's 7 of them, and I have 3. Might be read aloud, and we might do it on our own, I'm not sure. This little pig, never heard of it, just looks cute, and was free. Reminds me of Charlotte's Web and Babe, that it's about a pig, but I don't know anything else about it other than that. But I think we'll do this as a read aloud. The Great Cheese Conspiracy. Again, never heard of this one. It's really skinny. Be a little reader for my daughter, probably. Unless we decide to read aloud, but it's pretty short for a read aloud. I don't know. Meet Merciless Marvin the Magnificent. Fed up with the slim pickings in their movie theater home, Merciless Marvin and his mouse gang decide to hit the big time and pull a heist of such magnitude that Humphrey Bogart would be proud. The target, a cheese store. After Marvin cases the joint, the mice figure the job will be a cinch. But life on the outside has a few surprises that even bogey movies haven't prepared them for. Little reader for my daughter. Whatever After, If the Shoe Fits. By Sarah Mlenowski, maybe? Apparently it's a part of a series, but it says rating level grade 4, appeals to 3rd to 6th graders. So might be a little hard for my coming rising grade 3, but she's a pretty high level of reading. She was a reading grade 3 in grade 1, so I think she'll be alright with this one. And this little cute one, The Cats Meow by Gary Soto. It's about a cat that can speak Spanish. How can Pip talk? What's your secret? Graciela is sure that Pip can talk in Spanish. Looked cute. And was free. Little free libraries. If you don't take it, well, okay, I don't know if every place has a lot of them, but if your city has a lot of them, any book that you read aloud with your child or that you yourself are finished with, take them. You don't have to put one in every time you take one out, but make sure you're not always taking them out and never putting them in. And it's not like I rated all these from the same one. Like, this is over the last couple months here and there, and I've put lots of books in. So, just to be clear there. I also found Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Most of you are familiar with this book. I figured this would be a good book for my son to read. It's probably liked by boys more so, but I'm sure girls would like it too. But I don't have very many readers for my son, so I'm going to use that for that. Another oldie but a goodie, Heidi. Sorry, covering the book here. Most of you probably know the story of Heidi. It says, okay, that's not right. This is first published in 2006, but that must be like this in this thing, because Heidi's a lot older than that. I don't know. Anyways, it's, for anybody who doesn't know, I guess, a young orphan girl is sent to live with her eccentric old grandfather high up in the Alpine Mountains. Little Heidi grows to love her grandfather and adores her life in the clean, wild mountains. One day, Heidi's perfect little world comes crashing down when she's sent away to be a companion to a young disabled girl. Will Heidi ever be able to return to her wonderful life in the beloved mountains? Find out in this retold version of one of the most charming and delightful tales of all times. Hope that doesn't mean it's retold differently. Anyways, this is an illustrated classic, so the words are big and there's some illustrations. We're going to do that as a read aloud. Okay, sorry, trying to go a little faster so this video's not too long. I know some parents are not okay with these. We already picked up a Dear Dime Diary for free, so when I found 3 more, I was like, whatever, we can grab them. I don't care what my kids read as long as they're reading, because they're not big readers, so. Dear Dime Diaries written like diary entries. So I'm a Princess or the Frog. Can Adults Become Human? And My Pants Are Haunted. So those will be readers. Okay, these. I got The Princess School, Princess Charming. Just another one I've never heard of that I thought would be a good reader for her age group. I found this one called Dragonrider by Cornelia Funk. I've heard of her. Never read any of her books. I lost my lighting. Never read any of her books, but I thought my son could either read this or we could do it as a read aloud. There we go. This is a bigger one, so that's another reason I was thinking of doing it as read aloud. Of course, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I know it has Christian undertones, but when I read it, I wasn't a Christian, and I don't remember having any problem with it, so I think it'll be okay. Like I said, we homeschool secularly, but I'm not like against Christian things or anything like that. I'm kind of an in-betweener. I'm also an in-betweener because I homeschool some of my children and don't other children, so I feel like I'm in between lots of groupings of homeschoolers. And this is Beauty, a retelling of the story of Beauty and the Beast. So I don't know how much different it is, but it looks pretty. But it's definitely different because Beauty has sisters. It says 16-year-old Beauty has never liked her nickname. Thin, awkward, and undersized with big hands and huge feet, she has always thought of herself as the plainest girl in the family. Certainly not nearly as lovely as her elder sisters Hope and Grace. But what she lacks in looks, she makes up for in courage. When her father comes home one day with a strange tale of an enchanted castle in the wood and the terrible promise he has made to the beast who lives there, Beauty knows what she must do. She must go to the castle and tame the beast, if such a thing is possible. Here is the unusual love story of a most unlikely couple, Beauty and the Beast. I love Beauty and the Beast, so I thought this would be nice to hear a different telling of it. Alright, I plan to read for Christmas A Christmas Carol. And so I found this Charles Dickens, about Charles Dickens book, a little tiny one. So I thought we could learn about Charles Dickens as well as reading one of his books. And this one has pictures, colored pictures. So it's a small book and the words are only on one page. So I thought that was perfect. This is actually a pretty old book too. It's published in 1965, which is not as, that old, but is not my time that I was around. Okay, so everybody's probably heard of Wonder. My older daughter read it in school when she was in public school, but my younger two have not heard it, so I figured we'd get to it, not this year, like at some point. But I also found this book, Augie and Me, which is 3 separate tales with the Wonder characters. And they're both just as big. So if we like Wonder, we can go on to this book at some point. Alright, I only have a little bit more. So I have 3 nonfiction, which is odd for me because I'm a nonfiction lover. Children's nonfiction, adult nonfiction, teen nonfiction, anything. I own a blog, which I will link down below, smsnonfictionbookreviews.com. I literally review nonfiction on there. So anyways, these 3 I picked up free, so I thought it'd be nice to learn about the Titanic sometime this year, so I found this Titanic history reader. It's just a level 3 reader, so it's got pictures and, not too many words, so if I want the kids to read to me, or I could read it to them. Gander the Goose Celebrates Canada. We're Canadian, so of course we learn about Canada, just like the people in the United States learn about the States. So this is cute. It has lots of words, so we're going to read it aloud. See, it looks like a picture book, but it's a lot of words. I don't even know fully what it's about. It's about Canada and it looks cute. And this one is Keep On, the story of Matthew Henson, co-discoverer of the North Pole. Perfect for winter, I thought. So this is a picture book, but it's nonfiction. Also beautiful color pictures. And finally, I have a short stack of books that are for my 15-year-old. At some point, not necessarily this year. This one here, we are doing this year, Girl with a Pearl Earring. Now, this was a book made off of a art piece, and it was also made into a movie. And so this is a cover from the movie. Now, does the girl look familiar to anyone? Look carefully. Does her face seem familiar? It's the same person who played Black Widow in the MCU universe. Isn't that cool? So we're going to read the book and then watch the movie. and to maybe even study the art piece. History and fiction merge seamlessly in Tracy Chevalier's luminous novel about artistic vision and sensual awakening. Through the eyes of 16-year-old Greet, I don't know. The world of 1660s Holland comes dazzlingly alive in this richly imagined portrait of the young woman who inspired one of Vermeer's most celebrated paintings. So it's history, it's art, it's literature, all in one. Girl with a Pearl Earring by Tracy Chevalier. Haven't read it yet, but still sounds like a good recommendation. We're doing Shakespeare coming, so I grabbed 4 books about Shakespeare. So I have Antony and Cleopatra. We're doing Taming of the Shrew this year, but these are options for future years. I have Hamlet, and I also grabbed the Hamlet Coles Notes because that was the one that I paid for, but it was a couple cents. And The Merchant of Venice. Oh my gosh, did I do them all? I did them all. Whew. That was a lot of books. All those books I paid, let's see, less than $10 for. Most of it was free. I paid $5 for a few books. No, $4 for a few books, and 50 cents here and there for a couple, but most of them were free. So, and I plan to go out to a thrift store because today's my birthday. Well, when I'm recording this, not necessarily when you're watching this. So as part of a gift, I just love getting stuff for the homeschool and books in general. So I think my gift will be to go pick out some new books. And then I can do another book haul for you. If you made it through 26 minutes, thank you so much. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. I got lots more videos to come. We're on summer break right now, so I got lots of time to plan things and then share them with you, and buy things and share them with you, and come up with helpful videos. If you have any ideas for videos or any suggestions for how I can make it better, please let me know in the comments. And check out all those links I mentioned below. Thanks. Bye.